What is up, you guys? In today's video, it's gonna be a little bit different than what we normally do. I wanna give you 3 principles that changed my life and my financial future forever, and I think that these can help you do the same. Let's dive in. All right, welcome back to the podcast. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. As always, I'm your host, Zach Vaught, and I'm super excited to help you grow your woodworking business, grow your custom furniture business. And if you don't know me, this is my story. I started in 2017 in my garage, ultimately scaled that business to over $75,000 per month, a 6,600 square foot shop, a showroom, a team of employees, all the while I was a full-time pastor, and sold that business for multiple 6 figures. And I want to help you with the mindsets that I really feel helped me. It helped change my life and change my financial future. It helped change just the way that I saw the world and change my family. These are the things that I believe really contributed to changing my life. And so I just want to just share these with you. And I think that these principles can really help you if maybe you're stuck or maybe you just feel like your wheels are spinning and you don't know how to take the next step and get where you're trying to go. And so number 1, the first principle that really changed my life is this idea of I won't leave any stone unturned. A lot of guys set a goal or they'll start trying to accomplish something and they'll say, I'm willing to do this, but I'm not willing to do that. I'm willing to make this sacrifice, but not that one. I'm willing to work this hard, but not that hard. And as soon as you think that way, you're already just basically putting up the wall of where am I going to grow to, and then where am I going to stop? I'm going to stop growing here. When you have this idea or this belief that I'm not going to leave any stone unturned, you just commit to the fact that I'm willing to do whatever it takes. Obviously, like, I'm not going to burn my marriage down. I'm not going to be a bad dad. Like, I'm not going to be absent as a father. Those are absolute non-negotiables. I'm not going to sacrifice my faith. Those are absolute non-negotiables, and those are at the foundation. But everything else, I'm willing to go as far as I need to go. I'm willing to work as hard as I need to work. I'm willing to get up early. I'm willing to stay up late. Whatever needs to happen in order to get where I want to go, I'm willing to do it. And so I can just share, like, back in my journey, in 2017, 2018, like, we were absolutely very normal people, very middle class, not making any money, like just scraping by. And I started to grow my business and I just kept reinvesting money back into the business. And we were living in a house and I was working out of my garage and I was like, the business needs to grow. The next best step for me is to buy a house that already has a shop, that has a 1,500 square foot shop. And let me just say, like, it was a massive leap for us. It felt like a massive leap. Like, it was another $400 or $500 a month on our mortgage, which at the time was like, oh my gosh, I can't imagine this. Like, it was terrifying. But we took that leap and we grew in that space to about $25,000 or $30,000 a month in that 1,500 square foot shop. And the $400 difference in my mortgage is like, oh, this was well worth it. This was money well spent. Then from there, I maxed out that space and I was like, okay, well, to go to the next level, we need to move into an actual commercial space. And so I subleased about a 3,500 square foot section of a really big shop from a cabinet company, and we moved into that. And it was terrifying at the time. It was an additional, $800 a month. And I was like, oh my gosh, we're gonna be able to do this. I don't know how we're gonna be able to swing this. And it worked out. We went to about $50,000 a month in that space. And then from there, it was like, okay, we're busting at the seams. We need to move into a bigger space. So then we took another leap and invested another $800 a month into a 6,600 square foot facility, but we got to $75,000 a month there, right? So I say all this to say that the willingness to evolve and change and turn over every single rock to find what you're trying to find is a belief that I think will serve you very, very well. And as soon as we can't identify what the problem is or what our limiting constraint is, we stop growing. And it's just like, oh, well, it just is what it is. I don't know how to grow beyond this. And so I stop turning over the rocks. I stop turning over every stone. And as soon as that happens, I just basically settle into my life as it is, right? And so if you want to continue to grow, and if you are ambitious, you have to be willing to turn over every stone, okay? So no stone left unturned. Hey, I interrupt this video real quick to let you know about our Win Your Money Back challenge that we currently have going on inside of the Woodworking Business Accelerator program. We have never eliminated the risk to joining quite like this. And the reason that we're doing this is that we have found that there's a few things that all of our most successful clients have done. And so if you come into the Woodworking Business Accelerator program and you do a couple things that we know are going to generate results for you, and you generate just $5,000 in new custom furniture sales as a result of the program, we're going to give you all of that money back, right? We're literally going to give you your money back to incentivize you to do the necessary action to drive results. And so click the link below, check out the Win Your Money Back challenge. There's never been a better time to join with less risk than right now. So be sure to check that out. And with that, let's jump back in the video. Number 2, is that I will embrace failure and the lessons that it teaches me. Most people are so afraid of looking or feeling stupid, or people thinking that they're a failure, that they never actually take any risk. I remember when I felt like I needed to quit my job and I needed to start my woodworking business, and it made no sense. I had a pretty healthy salary at the time. There was opportunity for me to grow inside of that company, but for whatever reason, I felt like the Lord was leading me to start my woodworking business. And I remember telling my friends about this. These are great people, but I remember telling them, and these were like, one of my good friends was a doctor, and like he was very successful. He'd gone to school for 10 years to be a doctor or whatever. I mean, I remember telling him that I was going to quit and start this woodworking business. And I remember him just being flabbergasted. Like, what? Like, this makes no sense, right? And then I remember talking to another guy, and he's like, yeah, I tried to grow a woodworking business before. There's just no money in it. You just can't do it. Who was also a very good friend of mine. And, I remember feeling the weight of their judgments, feeling the weight of them not necessarily approving or believing in me. At first, I was like, man, that hurts. That doesn't feel good. But I recognized that I felt like the Lord had told me to do it, so I couldn't let the opinions of people keep me where I was. I had to be willing to move beyond the opinions of people. I had to be willing to fail. I had to be willing to stick my neck out there and look like an idiot. Like, I had to be willing to do those sorts of things. The reality is that most people can't get past that part. They can't get past the people are going to judge me. What are people going to think? What if I do fail and I look like an idiot? And my wife doesn't want me to do this, and then she gets to say, well, look, I told you so. I told you were going to fail. And this is what keeps most people stuck in the same job, in the same economic status, emotional place of discontentment the rest of their life. This is why people work in factories for 40 years and hate their life, right? Because they don't know how to leave no stone unturned, and they don't know how to embrace the fact that they're probably going to fail. I kind of have this theory, I don't know if I came up with it or not, but that there are micro failures in life and then there are macro failures. So there's failure on a small scale and then there's failure on a large scale. So failure on a large scale, in my opinion, is like burning down your marriage, is like being a terrible father, is like just being unhealthy, being toxic, right? Like these are macro, large scale failures, right? Filing for bankruptcy or whatever that might be, like these big catastrophic events that change your life in a negative way. Well, then there's micro failures, trying to learn how to ride a bike and falling down, trying to start a business and not knowing what you're doing, having to learn, stay up till 2:00 in the morning watching videos and trying to learn, trying a new initiative and it doesn't work. It doesn't hit, running ads and they don't work, or, calling interior designers to try to sell custom furniture and, out of 100 that you call, 95 of them tell you no, to leave them alone, but you get 4 or 5 that say yes, right? These are micro failures. These are daily little things most people are terrified of, but all of my success that I've ever had has been built on the foundation and the stockpile of going for it and trying things and failing on a small scale. And I believe what ends up happening, and this is again my personal opinion, but guys and girls that are willing to lean into micro failures and learn from them never experience macro failure. But the people that are afraid of the micro failure end up skipping it, and they look up and their wife wants a divorce. They look up and they're in a terrible financial position. They look up and their kids don't love them. They don't have a great relationship with their kids, or there's something that's gone terribly wrong. But it was because they never addressed or never went for it or tried to push themselves in these smaller areas, right? And so my encouragement to you is lean into the micro failures, lean into the little things and try something. Stick your neck out there. What is it going to hurt? If you lose over the course of your life, if you lose $1,000 because you tried something, who cares? And so many people are afraid of losing a little bit of money here, a little bit of money there, but they don't see all of the opportunity that could be there if they would actually go for it. Everyone always wants to ask the question, what if it goes wrong? But what if it doesn't? What if it goes right? What if you start the business and you invest in the right things and you take your business to $100,000 a month, or even $30,000 a month, or $10,000 a month? Like what would your life look like then, right? And so many people are constantly so consumed with asking the question, what if it fails, that they never ask, what if it works? What if it goes right? If you can lean into what is possible and believing in a brighter future, you can unlock some really beautiful things in your life, okay? So embrace failure and the lessons that it teaches you, okay? The last one here that I want to give you guys, and this is so important, and it's this: I plan my life, I don't go with the flow. There are times in life to go with the flow. But as far as my financial future, my financial goals, and as far as my relational goals, and as far as my fitness, and as far as all of the components of my life that matter deeply, I have a plan for those things. Now, let me just say this, the plan might not be perfect. I might even screw up the plan, going back to the micro failure thing. But I actively plan what I'm trying to accomplish, where I'm trying to go, what I'm trying to do. Every target that you don't set, you'll never hit. It's like Arnold Schwarzenegger when he was a bodybuilder back in the 70s, and he obviously was winning Mr. Olympia and looked insane. People would say, I never want to look like you. And he said, well, you don't have to worry because you never will, right? Because if you don't have the target or the goal to look like him and do the work that's required to look like him, you'll never look like him, right? And so you have to be willing to set a plan in place. What are we going to do? How are we going to do it? What are we going to hit? What do you want your marriage to look like? What do you want your relationship with your kids to look like? What do you want your finances to look like? When do you want to retire? Do you want to retire when you're 90 because you had no other options? Or do you want to retire early because you've thought about it? You planned out your financial future. By the way, I'm going to retire by the time I'm 45 to 50 years old. I'm 34 today. I'm going to retire in the next 11 to 14 years. Like I have it planned out. I know what I'm investing in. I've increased the gap between what I earn and what I need to live off of. I invest the rest of that every single month, and I'm investing hardcore so that I can retire. That's called a plan. That's a plan of action. And I want to spend still some of the best years of my life doing the things I love to do. I love what I get to do. I love the relationships that I have with the guys inside of the Woodworking Business Accelerator program and getting to invest in them and invest in their business. I love getting to help guys take the step and go for it, right? I love what I do every single day. I love being a pastor. I love pouring into the people that God has trusted me with at my church. I built my life on purpose. And I just want to encourage you to do the exact same thing. For some of us, that looks wildly different than others, but you probably have some type of stirring in your heart as to what you're supposed to be doing. If you don't take decisive action, and if you don't plan it, and if you don't commit to leaving no stone unturned, and if you don't become okay with the fact that you're probably going to fail along the way, you're never going to get there. But if you can embrace all three of those things together, I really think that you've got the makings for something special and a life well lived. And so this is a different kind of video than what we normally do, but hopefully this is speaking to you a little bit, encouraging you and helping you move forward in your life and helping you reach your financial goals and build the life that you're trying to live. And so with that being said, guys, I really do appreciate you. Hopefully this video was helpful. Let me know in the comments if it was. As always, some resources that I can help you with. Number one is my free ebook, the Handmade Business Secrets ebook. It's the first link in the description below. Be sure to check that out. Number two is the Handmade Hero Academy program. If you're like brand new to business, you're trying to grow a woodworking business, custom furniture business, have no freaking idea what you're doing, this is all of the baseline foundational business stuff that you need to get started and start thinking the right way. Now, if you're more advanced, if you've already run a business, I wouldn't recommend you checking out this program. This really is for beginners. This is my low-cost opportunity for beginners to get started, okay? And then lastly is the Woodworking Business Accelerator program. If you're trying to get to $20, $30, $40, $50,000 per month, I highly encourage you to check that out. And so with that being said, love and appreciate you guys, and I will see you all in the next one.